Sweet. So Mareike over here was working hard to create an art style for the game, and yeah, that's what she's going to talk about.
Yeah. So it's more like I'm art directing this game, and it's. I mean, I studied that, but it's the first time like I'm actually doing all of this stuff. And yeah, I'm gonna show you. It's more like how to art style guide question mark. Because yeah, no, I know how to do it, but it was like, yeah, so I was like, okay, we have this game and it looks cute, but I wanted to have an art style that connects to it and is like visual pleasing and will people remember our style. So I was like, okay, what's gonna be the first thing I do? And it's like, the favorite thing, color schemes! I know a lot of people don't care about them. As an artist, I love them. I mean, don't these colors get you excited? They're so beautiful. Yeah, so I took a bunch of colors and we're like, okay, apparently we have these 80s themed like logo, and well, we should add that in our art style too. And yeah, I collected a lot of those colors. I'm like, they're delicious. So I got to the next step and was like, what can I do with those colors? So what I did here is like did a set of colors and blended on the color schemes I picked and see what kind of effects it had on the certain color to give my colleagues who are not artists a feel of what this kind of things will do to our colors. And that like, obviously, if something is green and not purple, it will still have like a tint and it will still fit together. Like I wanted to have a set of colors that is over the whole environment, so you still have like this feeling of it connects to each other, even though it's like completely different objects. Then I was like, okay, mood boards time. Well, everything. If you start a game and do an art style, you should always pick mood boards because they show you. They give you a feeling of how this game should look like and what it could transport, even though you didn't build anything for the game yet. And as you see on the left side, I focus on a little bit more realistic, like stylized style that has like more texture, is a little bit more with details and decals and all these stuff. And on the right side, I got like, okay, what's the other extreme to this style? And it was, of course, these kind of blocky, really flat shaded things that are still looking gorgeous, even though they're just one color. I mean, yeah. I would like to have this breakfast. If my coffee would do this clouds, I would love it even more. But it doesn't. It's really sad. Wow. Okay, but yeah, I feel like we discussed this mood board a lot because we're like, oh, what we're gonna go for, but we all love this picture here. I can't zoom in right now, but it was like, it has the right colors, it has the right feeling, and if you will look at our game, we wanted this to be like, it should have a mood and not just be like a bunch of shit in a house, you know? So yeah, so I explored this stuff a little more and was like, okay, what if I have things, how would they look like? And then I collected a lot of items. We're like, okay, that looks cute, like this is basically me doing mood boards. Like this is cute, and this is cute too. And yeah, I mean, obviously we will not have a pink oven. Oh, maybe we will. No. Yeah, and then I got some more and was like, okay, we need a bunch of more shit. And I actually love this kind of simplistic style, but it doesn't look like boring or so. I mean, that's why I love it so much. And I mean, even if we don't have a city, I was like, this could be how our field would be. Like a little bit colorful, a little bit more colorful than our normal cities would be, but still recognizable as not like whole fantasy world. Okay, then more mood boards. I know you're so excited about this. But yeah, I was like, this still isn't all that there is to this. And so I started collecting a lot of art. How could these rooms look like, and how would it feel if people would be there? How would all this translate into our game. Because, I mean, Hotel Magnate is, you should be able to create a lot of things with it. So I'm not saying, oh my God, you have to do it like this. But there should always be a tint of our art style in there that you can create your own. So for example, if you want to do an American diner, you can do so. If you want to, like, I don't know, have a rock bar with strippers, you can have that, I guess. Did I say? Oh, I should have asked Jimmy for that detail. No. But yeah, I like the Christmas party part where you're like, okay, it's really colorful and lively, and that's what our hotel is supposed to be. One of the last steps for me, at least for this week, was to create a mockup. You guys know what a mockup is? Yes? Maybe? Okay. But maybe the audience doesn't know it, so I'm going to tell you anyway. A mockup is basically something where you put together all the ideas and create like a fake screenshot or a combination of how the game could look in the end. I worked off one of those and made one, and was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna put a bunch of stuff in and try to create how this could look like. I especially like the kitchen. It has a plate with cakes. I like cakes and making them. Yeah, I mean, obviously it's not like perfect. It's a part of our production. Like, okay, we will go in this direction, but it's not like 100% polished, because I mean that would have taken me a shit ton of time. But it's more like to look at it and be like, okay, we will roughly go in this direction and see. For us, what it was really important to see if this flat shaded style would look like too much of a mix when you put a lot of stuff together. I mean, I think it's still readable. I love the style of the flat shading, and it doesn't look like boring or bland. But of course it has a lot of detail. So we're gonna see what this gonna do for us. Next thing I did was like, oh yeah, let's try some of my color scheme on top of it and see how the colors change. And I think it's really easy to see, like, obviously this rug is still green, but it has like different tints to it and it gives a different feeling. I mean, you can see here in the middle, these are the blues. Obviously the magentas and the purples, and on this side you have more of the yellows. And yeah, that's, if you ever wondered why an artist said, oh, that's a yellowish blue, he means that. Like, so yeah, I always get people confused with, oh no, it's a yellowish green, and like, oh no, it's a bluish green, like, what the heck is that, it's green. No, it's not. Yeah, I'm still working on this stuff. It's like an ongoing process because we have to test out stuff. It's all of that. It's like just a direction to go to and be like, okay, when I'm creating this asset, how is this supposed to look like? And we still are discussing if this is the way we're going for, because we love textures. And if you look at Animal Crossing, it looks kind of cute too. So let's see if we will get normal maps and all this detail in too. But for a first draft and for the first attempts of creating my art style guide and finding the direction, I think I'm pretty proud of it. And that's already it. That was my journey to an art style guide start. Because obviously it will take a long time to finish all of it. But yeah, do you guys have any questions? No, yes, maybe?
The game will still be in 3D, right?
Yeah, obviously. I chose the isometric view because honestly, if I would have painted this by hand, I would have took ages. And the isometric style is something you can easily put together and have a cohesive perspective. But if it was just chosen a random perspective, it would take like such a big amount of time to fit the perspective. But obviously, it's like not isometric.
How you came into the team like a bit later, right?
Yeah.
Like, they already had an established style and everything?
No.
Oh, they didn't? Oh, okay.
Well, yeah, of course. They had like a direction to go, but I'm the first artist joining the team the whole time. And yeah, we had a direction, we had certain things, but while we were producing, we realized, we still didn't answer some big questions. And that's why I was like, okay, an art style guide will help us define things.
How are you handling player customization alongside these color schemes? will you automatically provide the player with suggested palettes, or will they just be able to ignore it as they wish?
The color palettes I showed you right now would be part of shaders. So I think being able to change the shaders for your hotel will probably be a lot of effort to customize it, I think, or give the player all these choices. But I think, of course, we will have like sets that are directed into a certain style, and we won't force you to make your whole hotel pink. It's it's not gonna be that. It's connected to lighting. You can light your scene, obviously, and this will connect to that too.
Did you decide on one of these?
One of these what mood boards?
Colors.
Oh, kinda. If I go back, so the thing with color schemes is you don't pick like one. It's more of like, this is a set we will use, and it will be found in a lot of our assets. But I would explain it that way. That doesn't mean all of our items will be pink or blue. They will just have a direction. I don't know if you guys know Ooblets. I think I showed some of their assets were a big inspiration. And if you look at these two pictures, they are from Ooblets. And what they have in common, of course, they have all a different base color. Like the one is brown, the one is blue, and all this stuff. But they all have this kind of direction into pink. And even if they're different colors, you see that they still merge together in a style and fit together well. And this is because there's a multiplication of this tint of pinkish, you know? And that's why it stays cohesive. For example, like these colors, like this bright red or so, you would probably harshly find it in here, like because it will be tinted in the pinkish direction. So does that make sense to you guys? Okay.
Is the overall theme going to be more cartoony?
Cartoony is maybe a too strong word. We will gonna be stylized, definitely. Like we will not have realistic cars or chairs or whatever. But I mean, our hotel is supposed to be fun. But that's actually what we're trying out. So because you see from Ooblets, the screenshots, they're like a little bit cartoony. They're not completely realistic. We will not have realistic shapes, but they will always be like a little bit more blockish. I mean, I maybe can show it here. This here on this side, these are all more like, this could be like an architectural thing. Like everything is pretty straight, it's pretty organized, as well as here, even though it's flat colored. But if you look like in this two pictures, and maybe even this one, even though this one is a little bit extreme, it still has the shape of the thing, and you recognize it as a car, for example, but it has certain features that are enhanced or like shaped in a different way that you would normally expect it. And that's something we want to combine in our stuff too. It will not be that extreme, like in here. Yeah, and it will more go in this direction. It's a little bit more curved, a little bit more shaped, and that's probably what I want to go for. Let's say like 10% cartoony, or 20, something like this.
Yes. When researching art style, does turnover time impact your decision making?
Turnover time, wait.
Like how quick you can make assets?
Well, when you create an art style, normally I would say, oh no, you should feel your creative juices and produce the most beautiful thing you will ever do. But we're in game production, so we don't have that kind of time. And yes, it's a part of that too, how quickly we can produce assets and how easy are they to bring in. Like, for example, doing like a high-res version of every asset would of course take a lot of time, and we will not do that. And we don't want that. It's like, we love that simplistic style because you will have like a shit ton of items on your screen when you check for your hotel. And if like every single thing would be detailed out, it will at some point will go into a blur. You will not visually be able to see everything really well. And that's why I like this simplistic style. Yeah, because I think you can even realize it here on this picture. Everything has a little bit more detail, But when you look at it from the far, it is much harder to read what each single item is. And on the bottom right, you see though, even though you're far away, okay, that's a shelf, that's a couch, it's still visible.
How much time did it take you to make the mock-up?
I think I restarted 2 times, so I think it took me like 3 or 4 days of work. Because, I tried to be quick about it. I didn't hand painted anything of this, because if I would have done this, I would probably be able to paint this in a month. But it was more like, I think I collected a lot of 2D assets from the internet, put it together, overpainted it a little bit to fit my needs. Because it's not about making a beautiful picture. It's more like, okay, could this feel this way?
That's 3 or 4 days real time, not work days worth.
Well, yeah, let's say work days. Like, I think it took a fair amount of time to collect the assets, make them usable, place them, restart again because I think it was ugly. And I chose the wrong perspective. You know, it's like a lot of try and error. Like, yeah, to get the right feel.
Since you went through all the effort of gathering that mood board, is there a reason why you didn't photo bash together your mockup?
Oh, that's exactly what I did. It's basically a photo bash. I mean, I didn't paint any of this except for this, and maybe a little bit of some assets from the back because I only had the front view. That's it. Oh, I painted the grass. Yeah. The rest was a connection of different parts where I just cut them out, placed them together to,
What do you find most enjoyable and most challenging on art directing the game?
Ooh, it's super exciting. Because like, oh my god, I could do this and this and this, and you have so much choices, but this is also scary. Oh my god, I'm gonna use this really cheesy one. With a lot of power, a lot of, wait. I can only do it in German!
With great
Well, do it in German.
Great responsibility. Oh yeah, that's
Say it in
it.
German, I want to hear it.
Yeah.
No, mit großer Stärke kommt große Verantwortung? Nein, doch, ja. Doch. Yeah. Yay, learn some German. Damn, so many questions. Okay, here.
For me, lighting also impacts the mood quite a lot. Like in this mockup, there's no lighting. Is that another extra step that you will do as you've
Yes.
chosen the overlay of colors that, you know, the color scheme that goes over it? Is how important or how much you're gonna go into the light direction?
Oh, you found the spot, man. It's like, oh, we thought about this. We were like, oh yeah, what kind of lighting should we do? And like, yeah, this mockup doesn't show any lighting, and that's why it's not done yet, because this is so important. Lighting can make a big difference. Like this picture and this one. So if you would think the lighting away, this would basically just be a box. And this probably 2, and this 2. And it would just be one single color. But because of the lighting that is obviously baked in, it looks much more detailed and realistic to us. As well as here, this is really cartoony. But you see, like, it has a lot of baked lighting in this. It's like all looks soft and cute, and you see here in the cup, you see the yellow reflection in all of this. And this makes a big difference. Even to here, like, there's a realistic lighting on top of that. Like, you have the window, there comes the light in, and it bounces off the floor and all of these stuff. So this is beautiful. Oh boy, doing that in a game engine in realistic time, because we will have a day and night cycle, such a pain. So yeah, I actually have to say we're still fighting over this. What kind of lighting will there be? What can we do? And Jürgen could tell you much more about it. I mean, Jay.
Should I join you?
Yes, come on, please, help. Our ghost.
Yeah, I came here without legs today.
He skipped leg day.
The main problem there is, like, we will have placeable objects, so we will have to find a way, if we want to use ambient occlusion, for example, on the ground, like you can see with the down here, that's what Mareike was talking about, but this one as well, the big challenge there would be to make it work if we allow for dynamic placing of objects, which the player will do all the time in the game. And we're still not sure if we are even gonna do that. Like, I'm not a programmer, I don't know too much of the details about that either. I guess it's something we'll have to figure out by just testing it and then seeing how it works. There might be like a workaround where you kind of fake it, maybe with, I don't know, just putting planes on it, because we always have a flat ground, so maybe that would be an option, but we just don't know yet.
And you still have to remember, people are able to place lights in the scene. There are light options, so this will also have an effect on how the game would look like. If you put like just one single lamp in the corner, your hotel will obviously be pretty dark. But if you be like, lights everywhere, it's gonna be big difference. Yeah, so the answer is probably we don't have a perfect answer for that now.
Will the moisture of the air affect the lighting?
No!
Of course, we will make moist lighting, you know?
Don't say that. People will expect that, and then they will be like, "You promised that."
Okay, no, I didn't say that. I didn't say moist. I said lighting. Okay. And it's done in 1, 2, 3. Woo! We did it!